and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Once again, I am disappointed in the actions of corporate media. Once again, I see not one but two articles indicating that Dr. Cornel West is the bad guy, the villain. Now, I've made it very clear on this show where I stand with third parties, with independents. I want to see the Green Party succeed, and yes, I want to see the Libertarian Party succeed. I say this because, again, both parties are third parties. I had numerous representatives of Libertarians and Greens on my show in the past, as well as independent, non-affiliate candidates, and other small, minor third parties as well on our show that were running for various state offices or federal offices. You see, the thing is, we are stuck in a world where people are still having PTSD and panic attacks over the fact that, oh, what, surprise, surprise, I guess, what, Donald Trump won the 2016 election, and now here he is running again in 2024. And yes, I'm very well aware of the indictment charges that are happening towards him. Whether or not they come to fruition, guess what? There's still going to be a Republican nominee. And what are the Democrats and corporate media going to do? They're still going to tell you, even if Trump's not the nominee, we got to support Biden. We got to support whoever the Democratic nominee is going to be. And of course, it's going to be establishment pick. It won't be RFK Jr. or Marianne Williamson. I'm very sorry to be ripping the truth to you guys, but it's the truth because the DNC is a private institution. They're still going to say that if you vote third party, you're helping the Republicans. If you vote third party, you are a fascist. If you vote third party, you are against freedom. If you vote third party, you're going to destroy our republic. Well, look, here's what I have to say to this. And of course, look, hey, we're all entitled to an opinion. But sometimes people say stupid things and it gets perpetuated in the corporate media, and opinion then starts being morphed into a fact by the corporate overlords. Case in point here. This smear attack against Dr. Cornel West. Cornel West is so vain that he thinks the 2024 election is about him. Now, I've interviewed Dr. Cornel West. You have all seen RBN interview Dr. Cornel West. You've seen Cornel West on Convo Couch. You've seen Cornel West being interviewed by a lot of people in independent media. You saw him get interviewed by Glenn Greenwald. You saw him get interviewed by so many people. Lee Camp, everybody. What is he saying? What is Dr. Cornel West saying in all these interviews? He's saying that he wants to build a movement for the people, not about his ego and pride, making it about a vanity. Hey, by the way, Stephen A. Crockett Jr., why don't you go ahead and maybe, I don't know, do an interview with Dr. Cornel West? I don't know. Philosopher Cornel West is seen as a Malcolm X commemoration event at the Shasba Center in New York City on February 21st. All right, so there you go. This is the image here, right? So Cornel West might be a wizard. What? This is how you're going to open up your freaking article and opinion? To hear him speak is to watch an African agreement weave spells and with language. But this sounds really, really racist. Ugh. Pulling from the sorrow of the transatlantic slave trade to the ingenuity of the Iguala people to the pitfalls of mass incarceration while effortlessly summing Bible verses and jazz stances in the same breath. This is a very weak paragraph. Look at Stephen. Do you know how to write? Cornel West might be a genius. At least that's what they told his parents after young West scored 160 on an IQ test. He would go on to graduate magna cum laude from Harvard University in just 3 years and would later become Princeton's first black graduate with a PhD in philosophy. Wow, this guy's doing a real big puff piece and saying that he's being vain. Cornel West might be a warrior. In elementary school, he refused to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Why are we saluting this thing that doesn't love us? Okay, so I want to note that I'm fully aware of what I'm about to ask and who I'm speaking about when I respect to say, is Cornel West really this dumb? No, seriously, is Cornel West okay? So you write all this, and now you're saying that, dude, Steven, listen, buddy, you don't know how to write. I'm okay. This article has earned it. This article's I'm gonna put in the category of the rent was due. This is terrible. How did this get printed? Oh my God. Okay, so West. Okay, so yes. Okay, so he's talking about the Green Party candidate. So yes, the Green Party, an alt-left political group akin to Washington Generals, Oh my God, which might actually be unfair to the exhibition franchise, considering the Generals have actually won at least one basketball game against the Harlem Globetrotters. It is the place where fringe left candidates, who are usually hell-bent on changing people's relationship with the environment, hence the green and the party's name, and who have absolutely no chance in winning, run away and spoil the chances of Democratic hopefuls. Wow, okay. Of course, that's not the way its members present themselves. To hear them tell it, they are the alternative to a two-party system that hasn't worked, and fundamentally, they aren't wrong. They seem to believe in less government and more grassroots. They are anti-capitalism and long for the day when self-governance cures social injustice. It's a kind of utopian dream in which Kendall Jenner could stop violence of protest by handing someone a Pepsi. The Green Party may be sincere in its beliefs, but much like the death penalty, pandemic loan distribution and payback, or every sneaker release, it's the application that needs work. It's impossible for most Democrats not to have a sore spot within their voting bloc after Green Party candidate Jill Stein and Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson played a spoiler to Hillary Clinton in her 2016 bid to become the first female president. Okay, so again, so many people are still hell-bent on 2016. Hey, vote blue no matter who. You do realize that you won in 2020, right? You do realize that. So you beat the orange Cheeto. Seriously, are you people permanently stuck in 2016? I mean, I look back at it now and I realize, those were just 4 years. Did the whole country become a fascist state? Guess what? We live in an oligarchy, okay? The United States is #1 and the most incarcerated people in the world. And by the way, vote blue no matter who. Since Biden got elected, surprise, surprise, the kids are still in goddamn cages south of the border. Not like any of you actually really do care. Hey, AOC, you're going to do another protest? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Stein and Johnson seemed to funnel just enough votes away from Clinton, and I'm glad that they did, but they weren't spoilers, because a vote for green and a vote for libertarians, a vote for green and a vote for libertarians. So there you go. To ensure that she would lose to Donald Trump, emboldening MAGA racists and leading the Supreme Court so far right that it's obtuse. So look, first of all, the reason why the Supreme Court has conservative justices in it right now is because the Democrats lack a backbone. Obama didn't have the initiative or the balls to really fight for his Supreme Court nominee. Now, Trump, he was able to push his guy through. Obama didn't do it. Plus, Obama never had the strength, or I guess the courage, to really tell old Ruth Bader Ginsburg to get her old butt out of the seat. I mean, my God, she was frail and dying of cancer. Democrats, the reason why the Supreme Court is so right-wing is because you guys sat on your hands. I'm not your tech support. I'm not your buddy, and it's not my fault that your politicians screwed it up. All right. So again, they're harping on the Trump Electoral College 126. Dude, it's 2023. Get over yourselves. Then he brings up Ralph Nader. In 2000, the year that America would be captivated by hanging chads, Green Party candidate Ralph Nader did his best to ensure that Democrat Al Gordon wouldn't defeat Republican George W. Bush. And one of the closest presidential elections in America's history, Bush won by a mere 537 votes. In Florida, Nader got 97,421 votes there. So, okay. Well, you know, Al Gore was a boring, mediocre person anyway, so whatever. It's not my fault. Historically, left-leaning third-party candidates have always siphoned votes from rightfully nominated Democratic hopefuls. So listen to this. Again, this is an opinion piece, by the way, and we're all entitled to opinion. Historically, left-leaning third-party candidates have always siphoned votes away from rightfully nominated Democratic hopefuls. So that means when you vote third party, according to this jagoff and a lot of other vote blue no matter who people, you're spoiling it for rightfully nominated Democratic hopefuls. Fringe candidates like these are not nominated in the same way. They don't run in comparable primary elections, and they usually have very little or no formal background in politics. These candidates from the land of make-believe can campaign, hop on major platforms, and even debate on the national stage as long as they meet financial requirements. Oh, no. Okay, so again, talking about Dr. Cornel West. And the biggest issue is Cornel West. He's done the work of building his name. He commands 5 figures for speeches. Big deal. Okay. He's one of the few black intellectuals who's known outside of the insulated upper educated class. He's got the right kind of friendships to finance his poor decision making. And as a wizard of words, what? The rent was due. This person needed money. His poetic deliverance will be hypnotizing. He's already started doing interviews and casting spells on those who are tired of the status quo. So, hey, to my viewing audience, Dr. Cornel West casts a spell on all of you. You are incapable of making your own decisions. So let's go on, continue on. But now is not the time to try and get the kinks out of the continuous Democratic drain that is the Green Party. Its members are disruptors, and not in a good way. For all their self-righteous, indignant babble about change and alternatives, we would be fools to believe that the totality of their existence doesn't center around this one mind-numbingly stupid truth. The Green Party is an ego project, a vanity resume builder, and just another opportunity for a prominent academic like West to build on his fame. Stephen, listen, I know you wrote this article, but why don't you try interviewing Dr. Cornel West? I mean, I did. You would think that if you're going to write a little opinion piece like this, you would know a little bit more. And that's not some earth-shattering declaration. It's as obvious as pink paint on a white wall. There is a responsibility with being one of the smartest people in the room, and the unspoken agreement is that if you are smart, like super smart, then you wouldn't do dumb things. And West, with his inability to acknowledge what he has to know he's doing by running as a candidate with no shot in hell of winning the White House, but the ability to pull enough to make sure President Joe Biden doesn't get reelected, is being really stupid. Stupid. I'm going to stop here for a second. I'm just going to talk to you guys. This is the mindset of vote blue no matter who. This is the mindset of individuals that are forever stuck in 2016. I'm going to scroll down here and read the final paragraph. If the Green Party wants to be taken seriously as a political group, I have a suggestion. Stop rolling out these quasi-political personalities every 4 years and actually do the work. Have local government candidates actually win office, which they have. Let America see the Green Party in action on a local level, which they have. Stephen, there are rules and guidelines that are preventing third parties from being on the debate stage, being on the ballot. I mean, at one point, various times, the Greens and Libertarians were acknowledged as state parties, only to, again, have that revoked away from them. Win some seats, any seats, in any house. Have a Green Party PTA president or head of an Elks Lodge. Have a Green Party mayor or a junior member of Congress. But this idea that you insert a third-party candidate in the Super Bowl political contest without even a nationally televised primary is downright preposterous. It's the political equivalent of a bad Disney movie in which a teen main character wakes up in an adult body and suddenly decides that they're going to run for president because why not? Cornel West may be a wizard. Again, you're using this word wizard. But no matter what he conjures up, he's only hurting the American people to feed his own ego. And I really wish Obama would have sent him those tickets because maybe we wouldn't have to be here dealing with this idiot respectfully. Well, respectfully, you can just, F off. And of course, we have this article that came out. Cornel West presidential run could cost Biden election in these states. Oh, no. Oh, no. What's going to happen now? Green Party presidential candidate Cornel West could cost Joe Biden votes in key states in 2024, where the president won relatively narrow victories in 2020. Well, it's not my fault that Biden is struggling. West, an academic and political activist, has announced an intention to run on the Green Party ticket. There has already been speculation that a third-party challenge would have a major effect in a close race amid the possibility that other serious external bid could be launched by Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who recently refused to rule out the possibility. While no third-party presidential candidate has won the White House in the modern era, major challengers have often had an effect on the presidential race, including former President Theodore Roosevelt in 1912, billionaire Ross Perot in 1992 and 1996, and consumer rights advocate Ralph Nader in 2000. So they had every right to run. So again, these are the states that could hurt them. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Okay, good. I don't care. Because here's the thing. Vote blue no matter who, because you guys are stuck in this mindset that, oh, Dr. Cornel West is just living in a fantasy land. He's a wizard. He's all these things. Please tell me and explain to me in detail. What are you going to do for us? Because the thing is, let's say in a hypothetical scenario, Dr. Cornel West does win the White House. All right, he could be first third-party candidate in American history to actually win such a coveted seat. It would be unprecedented. It would be unheard of. But vote blue no matter who. I just want to let you know, because you guys are assuming that Green Party voters or the Green Party and Democratic Party are aligned or we're allies. That's not the case at all, because the Democratic Party has had a history of siding with big oil and corporations. The Democratic Party has had a history of, being on the wrong side. So the Greens have no incentive to have an alliance with the Democrats. Okay. And so no matter what happens, yeah, I could expect pushback from the Republicans, of course, but the Democratic Party is going to have pushback as well against Dr. Cornel West. And so the thing is, vote blue no matter who. What are you going to say to the people, Democrats too? What are you going to say to the people when, again, the fight isn't over? See, in a scenario in which Dr. Cornel West could win the White House, in a possible scenario, okay, and it will be very tough. Let's be very clear. He doesn't have this in the bag. But if he were to win, the fight's not over yet. And I want to pull up this short minute segment interview that RBN had with Kashama Sawant and Dr. Jill Stein in regards to this, of what an ongoing fight would look like. So I want to pull it up. I want to give it acknowledgement. A powerful conversation with an all-star panel. So there you go. Let's play it for the people.
He wins. It's just the beginning of the fight.
And also,
you got Congress, you got donors. Go ahead, Shama.
Yeah, no, sorry to interrupt, CJ, but that's exactly. I mean, the point about the need to build movements is so central, not only in terms of the framing, as you said, but also, I mean, if hypothetically speaking, if Cornel West, on the basis of the campaign, he's that he's the demands that he's calling for, cancellation of all student debt, Medicare for all, guaranteed quality education and housing, and also, as we were saying earlier, a genuine left anti-war candidate. All of these are important demands that working people should organize around. It's not just that he is talking about it. We have to join this campaign. But furthermore, hypothetically, if a campaign on the basis of these demands on the left actually won, there's not that prospect. And as you said, CJ, that's not what we're here for right now in this campaign. But if that were to actually happen, it's not like somebody like Cornel West can go to the White House and then great things will start happening.
Yeah, that's a great.
Can you?
Yes. So again, it's not that easy, folks. And I just want everyone to understand that, look, if he were to win, there's going to be political pushback from both parties to prevent anything being done by Dr. Cornel West. So you know what that means? After 2024, in a hypothetical scenario, if Dr. Cornel West were to win, we don't go home and celebrate. The work begins.
Imagine the war that the ruling class would absolutely unleash against the working class. So there's no way of avoiding a political battle, a political clash. And that's where we need to ready our forces. And that's why we need the working class to be involved and to be activated. And one of the values of having a campaign like this is to help, sort of generate those forces.
Fantastic.
And that's a very good note to end it on, because again, so many people in corporate media are on a super fast rush to silence Dr. Cornel West, to dismiss him, to indicate that he is a threat, that he is becoming a fundamental problem. Listen, Dr. Cornel West is running a campaign based on his philosophy and points of view. He has cared about social issues for a very long time. This isn't a vanity project. This is a very difficult decision to do, especially run as a third-party candidate, because let's face it, so many people that we've seen the articles too, where they're saying Dr. Cornel West should run in the Democratic Party. He should be in the Democratic primary. Then we could take him seriously. No, you won't. Look at what they're doing to Marianne Williamson and RFK Jr. And already, look, we have covered this so many times. The DNC is a private institution. They are not going to play fair. The game is rigged. Dr. Cornel West saw it. We all saw it in 2016 and in 2020. To run in the Democratic primary is a fool's errand. You're not going to do it. I mean, there is no success. It's a no-win scenario. How are you going to win the nomination when the Democratic Party can say, we don't like how the people voted, we're going to run with our pick anyways? That's what the Democrats can do. If you're not concerned about that, I don't know what to tell you. Especially if you are a diehard Democratic voter, your vote doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to a party where my vote will matter. And I'm going to vote for a candidate who has earned my vote. Now, no matter how it plays out, if the Green Party gets on the ballot here in Illinois, I will vote Green Party. If they can't make it on the ballot, I'll be sure to hell vote Libertarian. If the Libertarians aren't there, I'll vote for whoever the independent candidate is. And if their name isn't on the ballot, I'll write in somebody's name. But I will not vote Democrat or Republican because neither party has earned my vote. I don't like the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I don't want to think about the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. And I have zero respect for the Democratic Party and Republican Party. That's how I feel about it. I believe in voting independent. And to the corporate media outlets, to the people who have to write articles because the rent is due, good luck, because your fear tactics aren't working. We see how it's all played out. And it's a waste of time.